Welcome to our Science of Miracles event, everyone. Today, Swarna Bhairavi is going to join us to share the foundational secrets of Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, a sacred text that is a beautiful conversation between Kala Bhairava and his consort, Bhairavi. And Kala Bhairava teaches the methods to attain states of enlightenment where manifestation is blissful and effortless. And because Kala Bhairava is the god of time, he teaches how to enter the present moment, which is the only time that manifestation and miracles can emerge. So Swarna Bhairavi has a special gift to share the teachings of Kala Bhairava because Dr. Pillai has blessed her to have a spiritual marriage with Kala Bhairava. So just as Kala Bhairava passed on the secrets to his consort, Bhairavi, Swarna Bhairavi is going to pass on those secrets to us today. And we welcome you, Swarna Bhairavi.
Thank you, Padma. I'm really excited to be here and to share these rare teachings on Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Only with Dr. Pillai's blessings would this have come about, because these teachings are so profound, yet so simple and easy to do. Before I get into giving a summary on the teachings, I want to tell a little story about how these 112 meditations came about or came into existence. They call them meditations, but actually it's a poetic dialogue between Shiv and Shakti. And it's so loving and beautiful. Bhairava and Bhairavi were in Bhairavaloka. And Bhairavi, Shakti, became very compassionate over Shiva's devotees who weren't getting the realization they wanted. They were stuck. I think we all can relate sometimes. So Bhairavi goes to Bhairava, and out of her compassion, she entices him, she almost taunts him into giving the wisdom. She says to Bhairava, I don't understand the teachings. I'm not able to get into a higher consciousness. I'm stuck. Now, Bhairava is infinite consciousness. He knows she's asking on behalf of the devotees, but he doesn't let on. He says, Oh, Devi, my radiant one, let me explain it to you. See, she's Shakti. She's the creatress, and her husband Bhairava is the source of pure consciousness. So we need that Shakti, that energy, in order to pull the consciousness, pure consciousness, so that we, as humans, enlightened beings, whatever, will be able to grasp a hold of it. So in the next 6 months, in the Miracle of Science program, you'll learn from Babaji, you'll learn from Shiva, and you'll learn from Shakti. Like I said, this is a poetic dialogue where it's word for word what Shiva said. So this is such an incredible opportunity. And because these meditations, Babaji is guiding us to share, will not only give you the profound awareness from the meditation effortlessly, they will also amplify Babaji's teachings. They're all Babaji's teachings anyway, but these meditations, these awareness techniques are going to greatly increase the results that you have from Babaji's teachings. And you can reach awareness levels that had been previously unavailable to you. I've been doing these techniques for about the last 3 weeks, on and off. And some of the most profound awareness insights, revelations I've had in these last 3 weeks are incredible. I've never been able to come to that level of understanding about myself, about God, about the universe. But first I want to explain what Tantra is. So in Sanskrit, it's kind of misunderstood actually. In Sanskrit, Tantra signifies a method for expanding your consciousness from the ordinary to the extraordinary. So it expands, it's not a direct translation, but it says basically it expands your consciousness from the ordinary to the extraordinary, ultimately leading to enlightenment. That's the end result here. I, years ago, heard another explanation which I thought was really practical. And that is, Tantra uses everything around us, everything around you, to increase your awareness. It uses everything around you as a meditation. It doesn't matter what it is. And so you're going to understand when I give the technique a little bit more about practically what that means. So every simple technique that Shiva teaches happens in a femtosecond. It's literally the quantum power. And because many things happen, but I'm going to highlight two things happen, and that is that you go into the now. Your mind stops, your time stops, and infinite possibilities are accessible at that moment. So everyone's always trying to get into the now. But these techniques will place you so gently if you focus on them, if you use your awareness so gently, it sort of eases you into the now. And that's the effortless part of it. The mind stops, and how does that help you really manifest? This is a question, actually, Padma and I were talking about yesterday. So the mind is time. And there are so many books written about how to get into the now, but no one really understands this except for Dr. Pillai. And it's because everyone who's been writing the books, they're all in the mind. So they don't have the ability to stop it. But when the mind stops, that is where enlightenment exists. It does not exist in any other moment. It exists in the present moment. In that femto moment is enlightenment. And when the mind stops, you become a witness. So you're not subscribing, you're not identifying with your identities. You kind of stepping outside and you're observing. You're like, I got that, that comes upon me, So your identities, you don't subscribe to them, you don't subscribe to your failures, or you don't subscribe to the job you have or don't have, you don't subscribe to your bank account, to your relationships. All of these limitations change because your awareness is all of a sudden higher, and it's distanced from you, from your small self, from these things that we've been holding on to for years, these small things, these limited lives. You get a fresh look. It's like being rebirthed every second. So at that moment, you become unlimited because you don't have these things messing up your mind. You don't have all this traffic in your mind and in your emotions and in your soul. You become infinite, and you can perceive all the simultaneous timelines that are available to you. The timelines of wealth, the timelines of success, the timelines of beauty, the timelines of health, the timelines of love. So you can perceive them finally. You can't perceive them otherwise. And once you put your awareness on them and you see all the possibilities, God will immediately, the universe will immediately attract what it is you need and more. She will make it complete. So how does this happen? When you become hyper aware. Now, awareness is everything in these teachings, and the training is so profound because each technique trains your awareness to have the consciousness of a femtosecond. We're always trying to get to that very minute consciousness because that's where the power is. We know that from the atomic teachings, the quantum teachings Dr. Pillai has given us. And what's interesting is I had just read last night that thousands of people over the years who have used these techniques have become enlightened. Thousands. Not even hundreds. Thousands of people who use these techniques, even just one technique, have become enlightened. So these are a little different because, like I said, they're all about awareness and they're all about focus. So normally we sit and meditate, we use a mantra. And those are incredibly powerful. They protect the mind. They bring us different consciousnesses to different parts of our brain. After we meditate, we get up and then we go about our work. And then if you're lucky, you will remember that mantra. It will stick with you. But not always can you do that. So you go about your work and then all of a sudden the mantra's gone. You've forgotten it. And then you feel a little bad. You're going, oh my God, I didn't have the mantra in my mind. That's where these techniques will fill in that gap and heighten everything. So these techniques are all about using your body and your mind to refine your awareness. And they're divided in these sets of books. So they're things you can do, by the way, all day long. So you actually don't have to speak a mantra. There's no mantra involved. It's only your concentration. And it's not even your concentration. That makes it sound effortful, right? I had the word focus here. It's not even your focus. It's just this very slight awareness of the direction that you're getting in the technique. So you will be able to have it all day long. Even when you don't really have your mind on it, in the background, your awareness will be going towards it. So that's what's so beautiful. These teachings are divided into categories, and there's different categories of different kinds of awarenesses that we can get. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a breath awareness. And this is the first group of teachings in the Vijnana Bhairava. Is all about the breath awareness. So your breath is your prana, it's your vital force, it's your life force. And once you focus on your breath, in the way he directs, in the way Shiva directs, all your anxiety and your stress and your past, particularly your past, you're not chasing after the future, you're not living and ruminating in the past. All of these things go away, and you will have access to the now, into whatever you want. So we misunderstand here in the West what it means to be relaxed, to be in peace. Jesus talks about peace. Be in peace with me, because he knows that if you are in peace, if you're totally, the mind is out of everything, you don't have that anxiety, you don't have those security issues, none of that is gone, none of that is there, then that is when you can manifest. And not only that, that's the healthiest time for you. You won't have a health problem. Even health problems can go away during these times. So the breath is what we're going to do today, and I'm going to take you through a short technique now. And like I said, it's a very powerful technique. This was the technique that they said thousands have become enlightened in this one technique. And it's something you can do after today, throughout the day. Just keep remembering this particular meditation, and sooner or later you will have a realization. I bet it happens before the end of the day. If you do this, you are going to have at least 2-3 insights about yourself by the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what the meditation is. It's very, very simple, and it's only observing when your breath stops. So it's like, oh, my breath doesn't stop. If my breath stops, then I won't be living. That's not true. Your breath stops when there's a gap. And there's a gap at the end of your inhale before you exhale. At the end of your exhale and before your inhale, there's a gap. And I have a little diagram I wrote here. So this, hopefully you can see it. I'm gonna make sure you can. Okay, yeah, I got to come up here a little bit. So it's these points. We're not really considering the breath. That's too systematic for this. We're not looking at the breath and saying, oh, I'm going inside, let me go follow my breath and let me now come back and do the exhale. So we're not looking at the breath. We're only asking God to reveal, Shiva to reveal, Bhairava to reveal, Bhairavi to reveal the gap between the breaths, because that is where it stops. I'm going to keep that up just for a second. That is where your mind will stop. And you have a chance at that very moment to be reborn. But we don't have the awareness of that, right? Because it happens in a minute second. And what we're going to do is what he trains us to do is to become aware of that, so that we have ultimate control over our mind. The only difference between us and enlightened beings is that enlightened beings can control their mind. And we can't. That is the only difference, honestly, between an unenlightened person and an enlightened person. So these techniques, these awareness techniques will give you the control, the insight, the revelations, the ability to manifest things you haven't been able to manifest. Okay, now, the gap between the breaths, inhale and exhale. It happens at a femtosecond, and at that moment, anything is possible. We got that. You're not actually in the world. You think you're in the world because you're not recognizing that moment. But as soon as you recognize that moment, you are not in this world. You can go beyond this world. So before, now that I'm being a little bit more descriptive about this, because I want people to really understand that it's a point. It's a very, it's like a pinpoint, even smaller, in these two areas. So before the breath starts to turn, that's when you start, that's where you put your focus. And I'll put Shiva's words here, which are best. Bhairava's words are best. O radiant one, this experience may dawn between two breaths. After breath comes in, down, and just before turning up, the beneficence, the auspiciousness, the revelation. So, O radiant one, he's talking to Shakti now, Bhairavi. This experience may dawn between two breaths. These are his words. After breath comes in, and just before turning up, the beneficence. The technique centers on observing the brief pauses at the top and the bottom. I'm going to be quiet for about 20 seconds. And I want you all, you can either close your eyes or keep your eyes open. Put your focus, put your awareness there. The interesting thing is there shouldn't even be effort. And don't necessarily expect too much right now. But know you're building, you're laying this, your awareness is starting to get tuned. By you just being exposed to this teaching, your awareness has jumped. You are blessed, actually, just to be aware of this teaching. So go ahead and see if you can at least kind of identify the general time that it happens without being too systematic. Just putting your attention, relaxing. And I'm just going to hold on here for about 15, 20 seconds. And then I'm going to start talking, and you can keep your awareness even when I start talking again. It does help a little bit to have some awareness of breath, right? Because you got to pinpoint these two ends. So in the beginning, if you find yourself really focusing on your breath, that's okay. I did. I still do when I get into it. Okay, keep doing the technique. I'm going to continue to explain what's happening just for a couple more minutes. And do the technique today, like I said. I believe at the end of the day, you will have 2-3 insights you've not been able to be aware of. And those insights could change everything. Could change whatever it is, whatever problem you have. Career, money, anything. So in that micro moment of no breath, the usual flow of time and identity is suspended. It stops. You're present. You're free. You have no mind chatter. And this is offering you a doorway into a timeless awareness. That gap is a doorway into a timeless awareness, a deep stillness where infinite possibilities are available to you. If you go on practicing this breath consciousness today and on from today, this breath awareness, suddenly, without knowing, you'll come to that interval. You'll come to the gap. If you just have your awareness on it throughout the day without effort, you'll find that you will reach that gap. Your awareness will become keen, it will become deep, it will become intense. So I want to thank Dr. Pillai, Bhairavi, for allowing these sharings of these teachings to come forth. And I wish you all the best of luck practicing. And I hope to see you in the Miracle of Science, where we're going to each month we're going to teach a technique each month from the different categories about getting rid of your ego so that there's no duality between you and the object, so that you can combine this, so the object in you are the same, or the object in your thought are the same. And from Dr. Pillai, we know that's the ultimate manifestation. It will give you deep love so that you have this compassion to increase the compassion will bring your intelligence way up. And you'll be all of a sudden not thinking so much about yourself, but that will happen on autopilot. But you will be thinking about heaven, about light, about the world, about whatever it is. But your personal life will be on autopilot. So there are, like I said, different categories, and we'll be touching on each category each month, and it will be a profound technique shared each month that can bring you to a new state of awareness and creation. So thank you for joining, and namaste.
And thank you, Swarna Bhairavi. That was incredibly profound. And everyone, just briefly, I want to share my own experience because I'm new to this Tantra as well. So yesterday I was talking with Swarna Bhairavi about these beautiful methods of entering into instant enlightened states with Kala Bhairava's consciousness. And just as she was sharing with me, my focus, I was listening to her words, but I was more open to receiving his consciousness. I wanted to enter into Kala Bhairava's consciousness. And then my soul embraced that consciousness she was talking about And in an effortless way, I didn't do it systematically, but I combined that method with a technique that I'm practicing right now with Dr. Pillai's meditations. And before I went to bed, I had a revelatory experience, a sudden insight of what I wanted to happen, because I've always wanted the nighttime of sleep to be very productive. So I had an insight of what I needed to do. And then in my sleep that night, indeed, I had the revelatory experience that I was opening myself up to just by subtly staying with Kala Bhairava's consciousness that Swarna Bhairavi had conveyed, along with a technique of Dr. Pillai. So when she talks about how these techniques will magnify Dr. Pillai's teachings and empowerments, I had that experience. And then upon waking up, I also, the instant that I came to waking state, I had another revelatory experience. And listening to her just now, again, I heard her words, but my mind was not focused. In fact, I let go of the mind and I let go of time. And again, I was only opening myself up to entering into the state of consciousness that was being conveyed by Swarna Bhairavi, because she is communicating Kala Bhairava's consciousness. So I hope that's helpful to all of you who joined this program and who are going to move forward in practicing this beautiful technique that she gave. And certainly you can imagine that from an impactful experience like today, what it would be like to be in a 6-month program with a community of miracle-minded people who are all in this state of consciousness together. And that's what Science of Miracles School is all about. So I want to extend my own invitation along with Swarna Bhairavi. It is a treasure that Dr. Pillai asked Swarna Bhairavi to teach the secrets of Vijnana Bhairava Tantra in our Science of Miracles program that starts on May 4th for 6 months. And as she said, month by month, she's going to unfold the treasures and the secrets of Kala Bhairava's consciousness so that we can enter moment by moment into deeper states that are taking us into truly moments of enlightenment where our real identity exists. And as she said, all timelines open up. And that's where the bliss and the joy and the effortless creation is. And that's what Science of Miracles School is all about. So the foundation of the program is Dr. Pillai's superintelligence transmission, that he comes live and he will activate our miraculous consciousness. Every month I'll be sharing an initiation, an advanced initiation from his Mystery School 2024 and 2023 programs. One of those initiations is the premier version of 369, the numbers that will open up the secrets of the universe. And then other than Dr. Pillai's initiations, one session is with Swarna Bhairavi as she walks us through this beautiful journey into Kala Bhairava's highest consciousness. And our third session is a Muruga Samadhi chanting session, because since Dr. Pillai has declared that God Muruga is the God of the Golden Age, and he's ushering us into the highest states, both of consciousness and life success. And Dr. Pillai has exhorted us to engage in continual chanting for Muruga in order to invite his descent into our lives and into the earth plane to benefit everyone in the Golden Age. So month by month, we are going to be experiencing the Muruga 6-chakra system, which was created by Dr. Pillai. And every month we'll be awakening a special form of Muruga in 6 of our chakras, culminating in the third eye, where we will experience Muruga in his ultimate superhuman power of revealing his siddhis to us. So that is Miracle School. Along with that, you have personalized prayer requests, which are put forward on a daily basis by Angali Sridhar, Dr. Pillai's channel for Goddess Angali. And she's the great wish fulfiller that loves to do your requests for you. So it's a very comprehensive program and affordable. And I wanted to share that just this morning, Dr. Pillai said to me, faith is a science. You've all heard of faith healing. And faith healing happens when you have utter positivity. So faith itself is a science that will lead us to miracles. And that's why the Science of Miracles School is all about keeping you in a state of faith, in a state of utter positivity, in a miraculous state of consciousness, so that the divine within you and the divine beings all around you can literally rearrange your reality for a new life in the golden age. So again, I invite you to join us, and thank you for joining this program with Swarna Bhairavi. And I look forward to all the miracles that I'm going to be hearing from people as you practice this revelatory technique that she shared today. And we enter this state of consciousness where every moment we can find that moment of a true bliss and awareness of who we really are and everything that's available to us. So thank you for joining and have a wonderful day.